Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. This is a National RTAP webinar, a resource share overview. So it's the first one we've given in a while. So we're gonna walk you through everything about our library. And I want it to be very interactive because we want our library to give people what you need. So thank you for joining us. I'm Kara Marcus, National RTAP's Knowledge and Resource Manager, and I'm here to walk you through our library, our database, our catalog, and everything else you'll need to get the highest quality rural and tribal transit technical assistance and training resources. So let's get started. Today, we're going to talk about the National RTAP Resource Library. You'll get an introduction if you're unfamiliar with us, and about Resource Share, which is the name of our online portal to our resource library, and how you can use it, how you can search for materials, how you can sort, how you can filter, how you can find related items, save your favorites, use links and get citations for your publications, and especially how you can order resources. We will ship them directly to you, and how you can download. If you need extra support, we're going to have a demo and take your questions. So let's get started. The National RTAP Resource Library contains over 850 free quality technical assistance and training materials. They've all been reviewed and vetted, and we want to make sure that they're the most up-to-date, highest quality resources about all topics in rural and tribal transit. We have about 200 more, actually, National RTAP resources in our Resource Share library. We have training modules, and they come in hard copy, which can be books, discs, thumb drives, and also e-learning, which is a learning management system, LMS, that you can take at your own pace, self-paced learning, and receive certificates of completion. So when you're in our resource library, you'll have the link to those and you can access them there. We have close to 100 technical briefs on all kinds of topics, articles that we've written, that others have written, toolkits, which are really like encyclopedias about a topic. There's toolkits for transit managers, for ADA, and other topics. Web-based applications like GTFS Builder, Website Builder, etc. Webinars, such as this one. As soon as this is over, the recording will be uploaded to YouTube and Resource Share. And our whole hierarchy of webinars have been put in Resource Share, so you can relive trainings that you might have missed or just want to see again. Now, it's not just our resources, relevant resources by other organizations, FTA, USDOT, all the other TA centers of FTA, and other university transportation centers, really anybody who's writing quality resources or giving presentations about important rural or tribal transit topics, their resources get submitted and reviewed for Resource Share. So we have a lot. Here's the link. And this presentation, the slides will be posted, so you'll have the link, but I'll show you how to get there too. So we were one of the early innovators. Our library database was, before I was here, the earliest one was created in 2009. Now, probably a lot of you remember computers were a little different back in 2009, but it was still a pretty innovative library database. So it's gone through a lot of iterations. Resource Share itself was launched in 2011, not too long after the first library database. And then we did a whole new version in 2017. We have been continually updating it, upgrading it, And we hope today you have some great ideas that our technical support can implement to make it even better for you. So like I said, we have over 850 carefully curated resources. I review every single resource. A lot of them come in through other people's newsletters, alerts, etc., or people will ask if we can include it. And believe me, I read everything before including it in Resource Share. New resources are added every month, and they're reviewed for currency. So each year I take a look at what we have that's 1 year over 5 years old, because I can't really look at all 850 at one time, and see if there's been a new version published, or if it might not be available online anymore. So the library is always being reviewed. Our own resources, we also update on a 5-year cycle. So everything that's been published originally in 2018, we're on the last leg of updating that to 2023 for our tech briefs. And our large training modules and toolkits take a little longer, but we always, as we can, update those as well. So everything in Resource Share is free. Some of the resources you can download, and I'll show you that. Some of them are external resources that have links, and they're easy to get to too. You can have your favorite resources, as many as you want, and you can have orders shipped to you. We promise to ship within 3 to 5 business days, and our resource center assistant, Kathy, often is able to ship the same or the next day. So if you haven't visited it, here's what our resource library landing page looks like. And we will take an actual demo tour, but you can read about our policies. And we don't charge overdues because everything's online and it's free. You can take a virtual tour. And now that things have lessened a little bit pandemic-wise, you can come back and do a real visit too. We're located in Woburn, Massachusetts, a little bit north of Boston. And if you would like to arrange to visit the library and read any of our resources, we have a good reference collection as well in our reading room. Just email us at info@nationalrtap.org. Let us know when you're coming, and we will welcome you. There's also a user guide. This training is based a lot on what's in the user guide. So it walks you through how to download, how to order, etc. Also on our landing page, you'll see our catalog, and I'll show you that as well. And our phone number, our email, and featured resources, which I change at least once a month. And these are usually external resources because the resource that we produce gets changed every month, and that's put on our homepage. So we always like to feature other organizations' valuable resources, so you'll find them on our landing page. Our hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can reach us by phone, email, or chat. On the top of every nationalrtap.org webpage, you'll see a chat online, and if you want to reach the library, just choose the Resource Center department. And if I'm at my computer, I'll answer you right away. We also have quick links on our landing page. I mentioned our e-learning portal, so if you want to go directly there, you can. And recommend that you do. There's really a lot to learn there. And to open a Resource Share account. So it's a cloud account, and this account will also work for our technology tools such as Procurement Pro, GTFS Builder, etc. So if you have a Resource Share account, keep track of your password. And if you lose it, technical support is there to help you. And if you had one a long, long time ago, I think it's before 2019, you'll need to create a new one because the system prompts that. We also have a directory of trainers. So if you're looking for an organizational or a person trainer for hire who will either go out to your agency or train at a conference. This is a good link to click on. Rural INTD is the rural part of the National Transit Database. And that's a whole other training. We'll be giving that later in the year. TACL is the Transportation Technical Assistance Coordination Library, while Resource Share collects everything on rural and tribal transportation. TACL collects just on transportation coordination for a predefined set of criteria. So we give training on TACL twice a year in February and August. So we'll be announcing when our August training will be. And finally, there's a resource library widget. What's a resource library widget? Well, if you like our resource library, you too can have it on your website. If you click on that, there'll be a code that you can copy, and your webmaster can put it on your website, or if you need help, our tech support can help you with it. And then you can have the little search bar for our library right on your website. So you'll have a whole library that gets updated every month just for you. So how do you get there? You go to nationalrtap.org. This is very, very easy. You mouse over resources right there. It's the second tab. You click on the resource library. Couldn't be easier. Or alternatively, I gave you that link. You can just bookmark it in your own browser and click on that. There's a lot of ways you can search Resource Share. There's simple and advanced search options. You can search by keyword, and keyword is also known as tag. It's a simple word like wheelchair or ADA or microtransit, and you'll see what we have. You can also search for a word in the title. You search for stops, for resources that have bus stops in the title. You can search for abstract. That'll search the whole description of it. You can search for format, whether it's a presentation, a toolkit, or any other format. You can search by organization. If you just want to see what we have in Resource Share or what FTA has in Resource Share, that's the way to go. And you can search or filter by publication date. If you just want stuff within the past year or the past couple of years, it will limit it that way. So if you know the title of a resource, enter the smallest part of the name that makes it unique. This is not a web search engine. You're not going to be able to put in a whole sentence and get anything. If you say something like, tell me how many buses I'll need to start a transit agency, I guarantee you'll get nothing, because it's based on words, keywords, title, abstract, etc. But that works really well. So a keyword search, under Find and Access Resources on the landing page, type a word or short phrase and search by keyword, click search. It will automatically search for plurals of terms. So if you enter service, it'll find things that say services. And the search bar will remember your previous searches and suggest them again, which is sort of nice. It might go away if you clear your cache or cookies, but it works for a while. Advanced search, I was talking about that in the previous slide. Hit the advanced search button on the Resource Library landing page, and you'll get a pop-up screen. You can sort and filter by field. Searching the abstract field may be beneficial if you're trying to search for resources created for a specific conference or a project, or something that might have been by a specific author. We have organizational authors like National RTAP. We don't have, like some libraries, a personal author field. So sometimes in our presentations, and a lot of our presentations actually will list the presenters' names. So if you want to find what we might have for that, the abstract is the best way to search. You can also filter if you just want to find e-learning, or if you just want to find hard copy. And remember, hard copy includes booklets, technical brief printouts, discs, thumb drives, etc. When you get the results, now this is a short search, it only got 3 results. You can sort it by date published, descending, which means the most current resources will be shown first. Date published ascending, if you're doing some historical research and want to see what we might have had in the 90s. This is helpful for large groups of results. You can also sort by title, A to Z. You can also, from any search you've done, view all library resources. We have 851 right now. And if you have time to look through all of them, this is great. But if not, once you get all of our resources or you get another large group, you can filter them. So you can filter by topic, mobility management, planning and design. Click on show more to see what other topics there might be. And if there's a triangle to the left of the topic, that means there's subtopics. So you can click on the triangle and expand it to get the subtopics. And that way, I think capital assets has vehicles, facilities, and equipment. I'll show you all this. And if you're only looking for vehicles, you'd click that. But if you're looking for all capital assets, you can click that. You can filter by format as well. So up on the right, it shows subtopics. And something we've done, which is really new to libraries, we've done resources by roles. So if you're only looking for resources that will be applicable to dispatch staff or drivers or maintenance staff, you can filter by the roles under transit personnel. In our catalog, we also have a key to the different national RTAP resources by roles. Related items is a good button to click. So if you find something that's really helpful, no matter how you searched for it, click on the related items to find items of a similar topic. So there's 2 related item buttons. We have it listed under 4 icons that are found in each search result. It's a small white button. And if you're in a single resource, there's a big purple related items button. For example, if you're looking at To the Point Distracted Driving, one of our resources, you'll see other resources that include a Spanish version of To the Point Distracted Driving, Transit Bus Operator Distraction Policies, and Start Safety Training in Rural Transit, which really expands upon the whole distracted driving topic, and others. So related resources is very, very helpful. Favorites. I'm sure you'll all, once you start using it, have 1 or more favorite items. So if there's something that you really like and you want to come back to time and time again, rather than put it in a file and then wonder, where the heck did I put that? You can favorite it in Resource Share. So you'll see a green star, and then you have to click it yellow, but you have to be logged into Resource Share, which is our cloud. So if you try to favorite it and you're not logged in, it should prompt you to do so. And if you're only favoriting it because you're doing research on a specific topic and you want to unfavorite it, you can unfavorite it when you're done with that research project. So links are to external resources. You're seeing this group of 4 icons that you'll see all the time in Resource Share. Some of them are gray, some of them are green. If it's green, that means you can do something with it. So if it has an external resource, it has a link, and click on the link, and it will give you a pop-up button. And if there's no resource, if there's no link, it'll be gray. And what that means is it's a national RTAP resource that No point in linking to it because you could either download it or order it. If you link to it, you get the same resource here on the screen. So if you want to save the link, highlight it with your cursor, press Control-C or right-click to copy it to your clipboard. And you can then paste the link into an email, bookmark folder, or document, or anywhere you want. All of these resources in Resource Share are completely publicly available online, so you can share the links. So each of our national RTAP resources contains what we call a permanent link. We used to call it a permalink, but that's sort of jargony, it's permanent. And that means that even when we update the resource, like right now, I'm updating a resource called Training Adult Learners, and probably next week it'll be updated from 2017 or 18 to 2023, but the permanent link will still be the same link. So that way you'll always get the most up-to-date version. Now, our resources will have external links to things like YouTube videos, so that way you will be able to actually see it. But if it's a hard copy, the link will not be available. Citations. We provide citations for every single one of our resources, and it's based on a modified, easy to use and read modern language association citation style. So we've shortened it a little. We had a committee look at this and decide. But if you want to contact us, if you're doing a formal paper and you'd like citations in any other format, let us know. Here's what a citation looks like for a national RTAP resource at the bottom. You'll notice that all of our citations start with https://cloud/nationalrtap.org. They're all the same, but they have an FID, an ID of a different number. So citations, they're really free to use and share. So that brings us to the next slide. Resource Share is truly meant to share. So use the permalinks, use the citations for resources developed by National RTAP in your newsletters, documents, or websites. So here are a couple. You'll see that in Resource Share, it wasn't clickable, but when you put it in your document, you can certainly make it clickable. And as I said, we're always updating our resources, and the permalinks will always work. So a copyright caveat, you can use our resources any way you'd like, but if it's an external resource, it's always a good idea if you're going to share it to ask permission. These are available freely online, but if it's somebody else's resource, if you're going to be using it, let them know. And they'll probably be happy, but it's always good to ask. Okay, so downloading. The group of 4 items also has a downward facing arrow at the top. And if it is green, the resource is available for download. That means it's one of our resources, and it means it's available in hard copy. So to download the resource, click the green download icon. Then click the download button that pops up after that. Then verify your request. Tell reCAPTCHA that you are not a robot, because you're not. And the resource will appear in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. It'll say images because it's a PDF image, but it will have the basically the title of the resource. This one was that distracted driving one. So if you need any help with that, please contact us, and we're happy to help you. Now, ordering. You can order anytime the green cart is green. And if the icon is gray, that means it's not available in a hard copy to order. And some of ours are not available in hard copy to order. Either they're e-learning only, or they're video only, or some other, maybe a form, a fillable form, or a narrated PowerPoint wouldn't be available in hard copy. But most of our resources are available in hard copy. So add to cart. Now you do have to be logged into your cloud account, your resource share account to do this. And when you have completed your selection, click on the View Cart button. And if you're not logged in, you'll be prompted to log in, or if you don't have an account, to create an account. Now, once you've finished selecting items, you'll have a chance to update the amount you want shipped. You can cancel the order, edit your shipping address, or return to the library to add more items. You'll see the buttons Update, Confirm Order, Previous Step, the little garbage can for deleting it, changing your quantity. For many of our items, you're able to order up to 100. And this is good if you're training a whole department or all your drivers, or if you're wanting to bring our materials to a conference. There are some items like our To The Point training cards where we'll only ship one. We also have some items in our library collection that are available for loan. These are some TRB reports and some other types of items. You'll see that in the abstract if it's available for loan. So if you put it in your cart, Kathy or I will contact you and say that's a loan item, you'd have to return it. Would you still like to order it? And you have the option of saying yes or no. We give a whole month for you to read the items, and we have some videos and discs available too for loan. So you'll receive an email confirmation that your order was placed. It'll have your name in it, and you'll also receive a receipt when the order is being shipped. So we call it a receipt, but you will not be charged, even though it's called a receipt. All National RTAP resources are free for rural and tribal transit agencies. So this one, I ordered that in 2017. It came within 3 to 5 business days, and we have records of all our orders if you ever have a question about what you ordered. Our resource catalog, which I mentioned before, has a list of all of our resources, all of our training modules, tech briefs, technology tools, toolkits, etc. Our resources by roles, including a key. And what's good about it is everything is clickable. So you can see in the top what we've recently launched or updated, and in the training module itself. If it's bold, you click on it, and you'll go right to the resource share item. And then you can order it and add it to your cart, or download it, or any of the other things we mentioned right from our catalog. So that's a great way to look for our resources too. Now, some of you might have heard about TACL or attended a TACL training. I mentioned TACL before. It's the Transportation Technical Assistance Coordination Library. You can get to TACL from the Resource Library landing page. And like I said, it's a very special kind of library. It's also only online. It's a project of FTA and all its technical assistance centers. And you too can become a TACL reviewer or partner, just as you can suggest resources for resource share. You can suggest resources for TACL. They have to be training or technical assistance on the topic of transportation coordination for TACL. Or you can help us review. If you're interested in becoming a reviewer or partner, if you've written something or want to write something and work with us, let us know. info@nationalrtap.org. We have great support from our technical support team. And also our library itself can help you if you placed an order in error or want to change quantities of your order. please contact us. Email is the best way. So our resource catalog, our mission and policy statement, etc. And if you can't find what you need, call us. We'll call you back as soon as we can. Chat with us or email us. We look forward to assisting you. So before the Q&A, we're going to do a couple of tours. And after all this looking at the library, you probably wanted to see it. Here it is. This is our library. Now, most libraries have books standing sort of upright, so you see the spines, but we have so many books that we try to make the biggest use of space. You can get this tour on our library landing page too. Here's virtual me. And virtual Kathy sits here, and you can read all about it. Now, let's actually go to Resource Share. And you'll see everything you've seen on the slides. This is how to get to it. You mouse over and you click on this. You can also directly click on our catalog. We have topic guides, tech briefs, best practices, spotlights, everything you can imagine. So the most recent featured resources, one from TCRP, one on mobility hubs. You can look at our policies, our user guide. You can, even click to call us. And let's take a little search. So it'll remember some things we searched for. And we have 12 resources that talk about that. And cybersecurity is a hot topic now. That's a very recent resource. If you want to see related items, they're right on target. And since there's only 2 of them, it's probably not worth filtering, but it'll say what categories. This one's available in hard copy, even though it's a TCRP or an NCHRP. And that means it's one that you can ask to borrow. So if you put it in your cart, we will ship it to you and you'll ship it back to us. So that was a very easy keyword search. An advanced search, say you want to see what we did. National RTAP, and let's do 01, 2020, 2020 to, and you can even do up to today, and search. Wow, we have a lot. Since 2020, 126 items. And a lot of them are webinars and a lot of them are tech briefs. So say you want to see just our presentations and filter it, 110 presentations in the past couple of years. If you want to unfilter that, it'll go back to everything. 861 rather than 851. That's what we have. Okay, so let's take a look at downloading because I want to show you our resource catalog. See, it will remember what we've recently searched for. And here's our resource catalog. And that's not supposed to happen. Let's download this anyway, since we're here. I'm not a robot, definitely not. And it'll go to the last thing you had open, but I want to save it on my desktop. It'll download just like that. And when it's done, there it is. Okay, so that is downloading and cancel. So let's see what else we have. This is 126. We'll go to all library resources. I'm going to go to something that is not one of ours. Let's try this. You can also show more than 10. So you can show up to 50 resources at a time. Okay, this one is Federal Highway Administration. So this has a link. And you can copy it, just Control-C if you want, or you can click OK, and then you can go to link. And here it comes. Okay, and if you return, you'll see where you were before. And let's see what we have for capital assets. 64. So that's still a lot to look through. So see, when you do that, it does everything in capital assets. But if you just want vehicles, 57. All righty, so that's the kind of thing you can do with this. So you can see, I'm going to try to add this to favorites. And it'll tell me to log in. Now, your resource share and cloud account is different than your e-learning account. You might have seen that it asked me for one or the other of the accounts. So now I'm logged in. Sort of have to go back to where I was. All right, let's make this my favorite. And sometimes you have to play around with it a little. Now I'm logged in. And ta-da, it made it a favorite. So now I will always have that as one of my favorites. If I want to view my favorites, I have 3. Probably things that I've done in these demos, and the logout from being in the cloud is right at the bottom if you need it. So while I'm logged in, let's see what I want to order. Let's order one of my favorites. I'll add it to my cart. Okay, and there's my cart. Did I add it to my cart? Yeah, I have it twice in my cart. See, I made a mistake. You see the little view card over there. So I want to get rid of it here. Are you sure you want to delete it? Yes, I only want it in once. So it's very forgiving. Maybe I want 10 of these. I'll want a shipping address. And hopefully that won't happen when you do that. If it does, please contact us. It might be all these glitches because I'm signed in as an administrator. If you're just signed in as a user, this won't happen to you. So I'm actually going to log out now. We are ready for your questions. So what I'd like from questions especially is what you might want me to try a search on to see if it's in resource share. I'll go back into resource share again, and you can either put it in the chat or just unmute yourself and let me know. Does anybody have something they're working on they'd like to see what we have in our library? I know somebody has a project they're working on. Is anybody from, oh, good, we got some in the chat. Thank you so much. All righty. And we got questions too. Why don't we take the first one? Are there any videos in the library? Absolutely. Let's look at that first. So we'll go to advanced search and select format type, presentations, search. And what we want to do, it didn't really do that, but let's try it this way. Okay, so we have 110 presentations. Most of them are videos. Some also have slides, etc. If you take a look at them one at a time, it's going to the same thing for some bizarre reason, but we'll fix that right away. Okay. We will have that fixed immediately. What I think I'm going to do is get out of this and start all over again, because sometimes the cookies just mess things up. And I apologize. Let's see, we just added a video, micro transit search. No, we have that. All righty, that was one we did. Hooray, it was just something about, sort of cookies and cache. So if that happens to you, just close your windows and start again, but we'll fix that so it doesn't happen. So if you click on this little arrow, it will start the video. And you can also go to the external link, which will go to it on YouTube. Either way, you'll get the same video. So let's look at some other questions we have. Good, we have a lot. All right. So pre and post trip inspections. So like I said, the sort of smallest version of the word is a helpful way to do it. So inspection. In defensive driving we do, and to the point. Passenger safety. A lot and to the point about inspections. Bus maintenance practices. Preventive maintenance. And here's this one is a video too. It's not one of ours. It's one that we can ship to you. So we have quite a few on that topic. The next one, scheduling. We don't have software. Someone asked scheduling software. While we don't have software in the library, we do have resources on scheduling. 14 actually. New software adoption. This resource, I think, this is one of our fellow TA centers, it might talk about specific software companies. I remember looking at it pretty recently. Dispatching and scheduling, we have it both in e-learning and in hard copy. It's one of our premier training modules. And we don't talk about specific software vendors, but we do talk about how to implement scheduling and dispatching software. So if you're looking for software, that's the kind of question you can ask us in the library. And you know, although we don't recommend or endorse any particular vendors or anything like that, you know, commercial organizations, we will give you a list of everything that we can find. So somebody said in the advanced search, there was something for videos. Let's see how it works now that we started a new thing. Okay, format type. Yeah, it's at the bottom, videos. Thank you. And that actually brought up all 861. We will, like I say, have that fixed. And 18 are just videos. So let's take a look at this one. This one was just republished recently. I'm so excited about it. But I think it's just remembering my searches for some reason. Hopefully that will not happen to you. Okay. Somebody asked me, can I compile an automated RSS feed of updated resources based on my interest? I wish you could. You can in our Tackle library. And I've asked for something like this in our resource share library, and I know our developers a couple of years ago started working on it. We'll revisit that. That would be a great extra feature to have. What we do have now, as I explained, I update the newest featured resources, 2 of the top ones on our landing page, and also in our e-news that you can subscribe to that comes out every other Thursday. You'll see even more of the new resources we're adding to our library in our publications column. So we have room to feature 2 of them in our library landing page, and even more of them. Usually I do, you know, 3 to 5 in e-news every other week. Okay, somebody asked for a search on grants. So we definitely have a lot on grants, including grant management. So just the, you can see one of them is an actual title and one is a topic, but to get the most about grants. And that's probably because I had videos. All righty. So we have 75 resources on grants, grant writing, procurement for grants, Title VI requirements with grants, veterans grants. All of these have something to do with grants, except this is interesting, granted. Remember I said it will catch, if it's a plural, grants, also granted. So that might not have too much about grants, but it might actually, since there's grants about broadband, but I think it caught it because of the word granted. Okay, that's all. So the chat, go back to the Q&A. How do I know if a resource has been updated, if I've downloaded it before? Well, with our resources, we always put an update date. So it will have the original launch date and the update date. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to go to, let's go to technical briefs. It's filtering. This is one we just did, implementing a grant management system in your state. So I'm going to download it. Download. And again, I'm not a robot, I'm real. And it'll remember. It's really, at least for me, giving difficult things, especially for this. And again, I apologize. This is not the right resource, but we'll have this fixed as soon as possible. This one was also updated fairly recently. So you sort of have to wait till it finishes. And it will say it was launched in 2008 and it was updated in July 2021. I also like to give the acknowledgements about who helped with the update on our review board, as well as external reviewers. Okay, are there plans to create downloadable training videos backing wheelchair securement, standees on lift, etc.? We have wheelchair training videos in our e-learning. So we have them since all wheelchair securement and lift systems are different based on manufacturers. They are from each individual manufacturer. You can log into our e-learning and view if you have vulnerability or Q-straint or recon or any of the others. And no, we don't have downloadable ones, and I don't think we will. We're also creating an ADA driver training that will have some training videos, also just in e-learning format, and those will be a little more generalized. These are great questions, thank you. And another question, is there a limit to how many resources I can order for my agency? It's a very generous limit for each agency. For most of our resources, we let you order up to 100 per year. So if you want 100 problem passengers and you can use them, we will ship them to you. And then that this is 2023, next year, you can also order them again. Like I said, with a couple of our items, like To The Point training cards, we'll ship one, and we'll ship up to 100 discs. But with our thumb drives, which we have to make manually, we can ship up to 5 thumb drives. So you have great questions. Thank you. We got another one in the chat. No, just thank you. All right, we still have a few more minutes if there's any other questions. We've really covered a lot. And again, I apologize for the technical difficulties. I'm going to show our last slide, which shows you how to contact us, how to find us. And what I would like to do is give you a link in the chat to the survey. Oh, how do you get a login for the resource library? Okay, that is, I'm going to just type this here while I have it. And you'll also get this tomorrow for the satisfaction survey for this webinar. So, all right, so how do you get an account? You go to the library. And resource share account, click learn more, and it'll take you here. Now I have an account. It's an administrative account. You'll have a user account. You can ask it to remember your login, and you can reset your password. If you don't have an account, it will prompt you. It'll ask you for your name and email and some other information. Also, if you want to order something and you're not logged in, let's see, I'll let you add to cart here. This one, if you want to add it to cart, again, it will prompt you to log in. So those are the ways you can get to your resource share account. Any other last minute questions? Great, I thank you again. And please, if you don't find what you need, or if you need something more complicated than Resource Share can provide, contact us at our phone number, at our email, at our chat, and we can really, really help you find anything. So thanks, and I hope you all have a great rest of day.